Holy June, it's me, Moira.
So what's happening to June right now is she's gone into shock. You can tell that the way that they did the ambient sound, you can't really hear it. And that blinking, her brain is shut off. And what happens when you go into shock is that your fight or flight response turns off your thinking part of your brain. And that's the part that has all the processing power. So she's pretty much just going on basic instincts. She's not really thinking. I'll be dealing with how well Moira persuaded June to go to Canada.
Huh? June. Janine. Janine. Hey, June. You're bleeding. You need to go to the hospital.
She may have gotten hurt. We have to find her.
No,
Janine!
you're hurt.
It is really hard when you're going through, your brain is limbic, so it's not really, you're not really thinking very straight. And that happens also if you're really anxious. It happens if you're really angry. It can also happen if you're really sad. You're kind of not really there. It's almost like you're on autopilot. So she wants to find Janine, her friend, and Moira's trying to think, you know what, I have to get her to safety as quickly as possible.
I think I know where she is. If she's hurt, she's gonna be in the medical tent. Okay? And it's that way. Okay? Let's go.
Brilliant, okay? Brilliant. I love that scene. So smart. So Moira right away kind of figured out what is the one thing that she cares about right now. She wants to find Janine. That's really important when you're trying to convince someone of something and they don't want to, is what is their want? What is the bucket that they are looking to fill? You try to align what you want with what they want, which is Moira wants to get June to safety and bring her home. June wants to get Janine and make sure that she's safe and find her. And so she aligned both of them by saying, you know what, Janine is this way, let's go that way.
Okay, well, let's go get her.
We have to find her.
Let's go find her. Okay, we gotta go that way.
Moira is also using June's own words and repeating them back. And because she can tell that she's limbic, she's not really thinking, she's using hand signals and guiding her and encouraging her as she goes. Really, really brilliant. And this is a great way to motivate people to do what you want them to do.
Okay?
Moira?
Hi. It's me.
So she can tell that June is starting to come back, and usually a limbic reaction, it's probably about, like, we're talking about like between 5 and 30 minutes at its max, but usually around 15 minutes. So she was able to recognize her, which is great. The first sign that bits of June are coming back to her.
No. Why are you here?
No, hey. I came back.
It's not safe, Moira. You shouldn't be here. Why?
I found you.
What are you doing?
I found you.
You're so crazy.
So June's need to help and protect people is shown in this, and that will come up later in this episode and be used as another way to help keep June.
I got you.
I also love this scene. Sorry, I'm getting emotional, but I love this scene because June is not usually the one that's cared for. She's always been the leader. She's always been the one that's been the one to care for everyone else. And this is not normal for her. She's kind of used to doing it on her own, protecting all of her people and putting herself at risk to keep everyone out of harm's way. So it's a nice juxtaposition between Moira and her because June, sorry, I'm getting emotional. June risked her life to make sure that Moira was safe and got her out.
Do you see Janine?
I'm gonna go look for her.
So what's happening here, Moira lied to June. She did not say, I'm going to try to get you onto the boat and see how we can do it. She doesn't even check the med tent to see where Janine is. And that sometimes happens when we're dealing with someone that is not really fully there. She's still going through shock. And she wants to make sure that she stays safe. So she tells June what she wants to hear so that she's able to leave without the fear that June is going to escape. So sometimes when we're dealing with influencing people, yes, we use deceptive tactics in order to get our own way. Good or bad, in this case, I think that we can all agree that it was a useful tactic to use.
Okay, now you gotta get ready to run to the boat, okay? gonna get you out of here. All right? You ready? No. June.
No,
okay?
we have to find Janine.
What?
See, that goes against June's main motivation, which is to save Janine. And right away, when she recognized it's for me, she turned around and she's going the other way. What Moira could have done is said, Janine, I believe, is on the boat. I know, and this is totally lying. So we're not dealing with the ethics, but this is about life or death, and June is not fully there. She could have said, I believe Janine is on the boat. Let's go to the boat so we can get her. She's waiting for you. Now, June would have been really angry, but at least she would have been on the boat.
No, we have to find Janine.
What? Hey! For f***'s sake, we're not gonna find Janine. She's probably dead. And if you stay here, you're gonna die too. June! Boat! Now!
Moira, no!
No! Don't make me leave you again!
I love that she does the June boat now trying to speak, because it's when you are feeling really limbic and you're going through shock, it is hard to parse long sentences, and so she's doing that. But again, she's hitting the wrong bucket. This is not what motivates June. She does not want to save herself. We have already seen that June will sacrifice herself in countless times to save others.
You can't do that to me!
You can't make me leave without Hannah.
Hannah?
You can't make me leave without her, Moira.
Where is she?
You can't
Where
make
is
me leave without her. I don't know.
So now we have an even greater issue. This isn't even just about finding Janine. Now it means that what Moira wants is for June to leave her daughter in Gilead and go to Canada without her. Come home without her child.
Took her because of me. She was so scared.
That she's safer without you.
So I love Moira's, like, the way that she touches June, that she touches her face. She's trying to make contact. She's trying to get through to her. And she's listening to what June is saying. A lot of times when we are dealing with having a very contentious issue, we no longer are listening to the other person. We're so busy trying to make our own defense and trying to prove our point that we are not hearing the wants and the needs from the other person. I think Moira does a great job of hearing what June is saying. So June feels listened to, because if she didn't feel listened to, she might just run and leave, and truly then Moira could not stop her. But because she's being listened to, they're able to have this dialogue. Contentious, painful, emotional, but June feels validated. And if you feel validated, you're going to stick around to be able to end the conversation.
You want to help her? You leave her the hell behind and you come with me. You want to fight them? You fight them from Canada.
I think this argument is really good. I don't think it's great. I think that Moira could have said, you know what? You are powerless if you go back to Gilead. You will be so busy just trying to stay alive that you will never get to Hannah. But if you come to Canada, we have an army. We have a government that will fight to get all of the children back. And that is where you can be most powerful to find her. And I think that would have been a stronger argument because it's more aligned to what June wants.
Luke, Emily, Rita, everyone who loves you is there.
But not my child. That would be my argument. I wouldn't care because your love for your child usually is greater than for any of your friends or even your partner. This is the person that you need to care for. Though it is a nice argument, it is not strong enough to have June be able to say, oh, okay, well then I'm gonna go and hang out with my friends and leave my daughter there.
Nicole is there. Is she okay?
There we go. There we go. She got her. Her other daughter. Sorry, I'm so emotional. She has her other daughter there. And that connection tells you when you've got something, when someone cares about it, they're engaging. They come towards you. They're paying attention.
She needs you. She's growing up and she's amazing, but she needs you because you're her mother. You're her mother, okay? Come on, June. Come on.
I love that. And she needs you. You're her mom. And then I love that headrest, Moira with June, and they're leaning their foreheads with each other, that bonding, how close these two friends are. I think that that's really powerful.
What the hell? Hey, you trying to take this lifeboat?
Can you help me? I have to go back.
Are you insane?
I have to get her.
Stop it! You're gonna the water or you sail back to Gilead and die there.
That pull for her daughter is still so strong that she's going to go back no matter what. Because, again, Moira didn't do a great job of convincing her that the best way to get Hannah home is from Canada, from a place of power where you're going to be safe and you can spend all of your time strategizing. Sorry, I'm getting emotional again. But Moira still has one trick up her sleeve.
I'm going with you. We'll die together.
Stop it.
No.
Yes.
No!
That care that June has for Moira, and knowing what Moira would go through, what could happen to her, that was that piece that allowed June to say, that would be horrible. I could subject myself to that life, to the risk of death, to being a handmaid again or worse, but I would never do that to my friend. Why? I get so involved. It's such a beautiful scene.
Told you I needed to stay for Hannah, and you manipulated
I
me.
didn't manipulate you. I saved your life.
You tricked me into leaving my daughter.
It's true, June should be angry because it was manipulative how Moira got there. I agree with her, but I think that she could have used a better strategy to be able to do it. And one that would have been more honest also.
I'm not going to force you to stay. I just want to know.
They showed her to me. I saw her.
So there Moira showed true empathy, care, and love. And when we talk about forming an attachment together, that's really important. To feel validated, heard, listened to have it matter. And I think Moira did a wonderful job of being able to do that for June.
Everything that has happened to her is because of me.
No. No, that is not true.
How can I go back without her? How can I show up without her?
And there we have it, her guilt on saving all those children. And then she saves herself, but she leaves her own child behind. And I think that for anyone that cares about someone so deeply can understand that pain and guilt that you would have to, that survivor's guilt.
It is my job to protect her. And I fail. How can I face him?
All these years he has waited for you.
I know him. I know what he can take.
How about you find out?
Yeah.
Come here.
And that was it. That was the thing that was making her want to go back. That having to face everyone and not have your child, to have to say to your husband that I did not bring her back. And June feels like she failed in the one thing that she wanted to do. She saved all of these kids. She saved all of kinds of friends that she had, but not her little girl. And Moira did a wonderful job. She was able to validate, she listened, she empathized, and she gave her another option and made June feel good enough to be able to stay. Not perfectly, but I think Moira did a wonderful job. I think these scenes were so beautiful and heartfelt. And I think I would give her definitely an A on being able to strategize, deal with the situation, empathize, and be able to save June. Tell me what your thoughts were if you've enjoyed this episode, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Subscribe and check out my next one.